Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Current Events Forum. In Lesson 1, you'll be deciding on your theme. So there's a list in the syllabus on page 7 of some themes. This is a place for you to pick something that you're interested in. So pick something that pertains to you and makes you want to know more. It might be related to your major. It might be related to a place you visited, or a place you have family from, or a place a friend has visited, or a place you'd like to visit. It might have something to do with a hobby of yours, or really anything, something you saw on television. You're going to pick a theme and then a country in order to focus your work. And so there's a list of themes on page 7 of the syllabus, and a list of countries earlier on. And what you can do is look at the news, look at some websites. There's some links on the course site to news sites. See what you see if there's anything that's interesting to you. In Lesson 1, you're going to post twice in the forum. What themes are you interested in following? What country? Tell the class about themes that interest you, and see if you can find some news stories about that theme. If you can't find anything about the theme that's interesting to you, you might want to pick a different theme. But also, you're welcome to ask me if you get stuck, and sometimes I can point you towards some resources. And then the other thing you're going to do in Lesson 1 is look at another student's theme and see what's interesting to you. Respond and tell them what you think about that theme, or if you have any ideas for them. And that's Lesson 1. Lesson 2, Current Events Forum, you're going to find some backup data. So let's say you picked malnutrition in Guatemala as your theme. Or in the syllabus, there's some other themes, education in Mexico, or literacy rates in Costa Rica. You're going to pick a statistic. And there's some good sources for statistics, the World Health Organization, or the World Fact Book. And so pick a statistic that has to do with your theme. So if you pick women's health in Guatemala, you might find the statistic for maternal mortality rates. Or if you pick education in Mexico, you might pick literacy rates. And so you've picked a country. You have one country you're focusing on. But for this lesson, you're going to compare the different countries so that you know where your country stands compared to those other countries. So if you pick education in Mexico, your statistic might be literacy rates in Latin America. And those sources for statistics that I gave you will help you find a rate. You decide on the statistic that you want in all of those countries. And so once you decide on your theme and your country, and then pick a statistic, and it can be very related to your theme. Some themes are very easy to relate to a statistic. Some are a little bit harder. Some statistics are harder to find than others. If you are a nursing student or a social worker and you know other places to look for statistics, that's absolutely fine. Look wherever you know. And if you have trouble finding something, let me know, and I'll get back to you and let you know what I think might be a good statistic, or what is fine given your theme. So the next thing that you do is you're going to create a website. And if you've never made a website before, don't worry. We're going to use software that helps you create a site. If you have a Google account, I suggest you use Google Sites, or you can create a Google account in order to use Google Sites. And the template there is kind of like setting up an email. So you can cut and paste into there. You can assemble everything in a Word document and then paste it on the site, which I kind of suggest, because sometimes when using the web, your work can disappear, and if you have a backup copy, it's much better. So in the syllabus on page 8, there's a link to a sample and a link to Google Sites and blogger.com. And then there are directions for creating your site. Your site will have 4 pages. Sorry. It will have an introduction. It will have a chart, and there's rules for what I would like you to include in the introduction. It will have a chart with a list of 20 countries, the capitals, and the statistics you choose. Spelling counts, so spell things correctly. That's where a lot of people actually lose points in this assignment, which is very silly because it's some of the easiest things. It's one of the easiest things they can do. So use spell check. And remember that Colombia is spelled with an O, and that Chile has an E at the end, etc. You will use the statistical information you have to generate a chart, and then you will use those statistics to create a bar graph. You can use any graphing site that you want. You can draw it and scan it in. That's fine. And a map. There's a template that's provided. You need to fill out the map that I provide. So you need to print it out or open it on your computer and edit it in an image editing program. If you print it out and label it by hand, take a picture and upload that. But you will not get credit if you find another map on the web. And I understand this is kind of a grade school activity, but we can't have a math quiz, or I haven't written the software to create a math quiz. So the idea is that by writing the country names over the countries themselves, it will help you start to remember where things are. There's also more directions for creating your website. This is on page 9 of the syllabus. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to stop here and do another video just for the current events forum in lesson 3, so that you don't have to watch this if you want to look at the current events forum instructional video later.